In the Gospels, we learn that one of the controversies that Jesus had to deal with was the question about whether or not he was the son of Joseph and Mary or was the Son of God. This question is answered emphatically at the beginning of the Gospel according to Mark in the very first verse of the very first chapter. It says, "The beginning of the good news of Jesus Christ, the Son of God." The author is very direct. He's straight to the point, and he is not saying anything that could be misunderstood. But he's not the only one to say that Jesus is the Son of God. If you go further in the chapter, after Jesus is immersed by John in the Jordan, at verse 11, we read of a voice coming from heaven, where it says, "And a voice came out of the heavens, 'You are my beloved Son, in whom I am delighted.'" So God the Father speaks from heaven and declares Jesus to be his beloved Son. This is not the only time that he does this. If you go to Mark chapter 9, verse 7, at the Mount of Transfiguration, we find that God again speaks and declares Jesus to be his beloved Son. "And there became a cloud overshadowing them, and a voice came out of the cloud, saying, 'This is my beloved Son, hear him.'" Up to this point, God has declared Jesus to be his Son twice now. And also the author of the Gospel, writing by inspiration, has also declared Jesus to be the Son of God. If we turn to near the end of the Gospel, in chapter 15, verses 37 and 38, we can read of Jesus' death on the cross and how the curtain of the temple is split apart. It says, "But Jesus expired, having left with a loud voice, and the curtain of the temple was split apart into two pieces, from the top to the bottom." Now, one thing that is worth noting here is that God does not declare Jesus to be his Son at this particular point, nor does the Gospel writer. But if you look in verse 39, another individual confesses Jesus as the Son of God. It is the centurion who is standing across from Jesus. The text tells us, "Now the centurion standing there, opposite from him, saw that he thus cried out and expired, said, 'Truly this man was the Son of God.'" And so we can see that from the beginning of the Gospel of Mark to the middle and all the way to the end, Jesus is declared to be the Son of God. And so, today, we still have the question, though. Was Jesus just the son of Joseph and Mary? Or was he and is he the Son of God? Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video, and have a nice day.